Hi, today's episode is about how to stay connected while we're traveling in our van. And since I'm not real knowledgeable about that, we're going to let Owen talk about it.
So we stay connected while we're on the road by having a plan with Verizon for LTE data, and we're going to talk about that. We also have a cell phone booster that's up on the roof, and another component is in the cabinet back here, and another component is up here in the entertainment center. And then we also have a Roku Streaming Stick, and that's how we watch TV when we have all those things working together. That's what we're going to talk about today. So many of you may think, okay, these parks that we stay in have Wi-Fi, so I'll just use that. I think you'll find out as soon as you try to use those for things that really matter and use a lot of data, that they're going to be so slow that you're going to be very frustrated trying to do that. So you're going to learn quickly, just like we did, that LTE data from your wireless carrier is going to be the way to go when you're on the road. So to get LTE data, one option is to just use the phone that you already carry around. If you have a modern smartphone, then it probably can stream some of its data to your devices. It sounds like a great idea, but in most cases, unless you're just going to be very limited in the way that you use it, you're going to reach limitations very quickly. So if you only need a little bit of data every now and then, connect your smartphone to your device and you should be okay. But if you're going to watch Netflix or YouTube videos or upload large videos of any size, then you're going to find out pretty quickly that using your phone is going to burn through your data, it's going to burn through your battery, and it's going to be expensive. So what's the alternative? Well, recently Verizon introduced a prepaid plan for $70 a month that gives you unlimited data through one of their MIFI wireless hotspots. So Lynn and I, on the second day of this journey, went to Verizon and paid $199 for a Verizon hotspot, and then we paid for 1 month of service in that prepaid plan. It's about to expire, and we just renewed it. Why? Because it's been pretty flawless. There have been a couple of days when it's been slower than we really wanted it to be, but most of the time we were able to connect to it just the way we thought we should, and it's been extremely fast. Now, while it's not a plan that's throttled, it is a plan that hotspot is managed. So if you're in a place that's really busy and congested, this Wi-Fi hotspot may be serving up data to you a little slower than it's serving up data to a person that's just connected through their iPhone or through their Android device. But most of the time, Lynn and I have not been able to notice that at all, and we've been very pleased about how it's worked out.
What I like about the Verizon Hotspot is that when I log on to my iPad, I just automatically log on. There's no password, there's no nothing. It's just like being at home. When you open up your iPad, you're ready to go, doing all the research you need to do to find the next place to stay.
So what can you do with this Verizon hotspot? Well, we recently did a FaceTime conference call with our granddaughters, and when we were using our cell phones to do that, we were always mindful of how long we stayed on there because it burned up a bunch of data. But since it's truly unlimited, we just talked and talked and talked until our granddaughters were like, wow, okay, we need to go to bed now. The other thing, having unlimited, even if it means it's a little slower than it could potentially be, means that Lynn and I can watch a Super Bowl game if we want to, or we can watch our weekly TV shows that we normally watch at home. We can lay in bed and watch those here. It means we can download music for the videos that you're listening to and not have to worry about running out of data. It just means, really, it means peace of mind. It means we don't worry about how we're connected to the internet anymore. So now that we've figured out that we want to connect to a cell tower to get the data, we want to maximize our chance of being connected to any cell phone tower no matter how far away it is. For that, we purchased a Wilson WeBoost. The model that we purchased was a WeBoost Drive RGX. They make one that's called the WeBoost Drive RV, and that one has a bigger antenna. In hindsight being 2020, that's the one Lynn and I should have purchased. But our results have been, if we have one bar with our phones, when we turn the booster on, we have 3 bars. And that's the difference in spotty video, watching video, or being able to do certain things in streaming. And 3 bars means you don't worry about it at all. So we're really happy about our Drive RGX. So how does that work? Well, first of all, there's an antenna on the roof. One of the things you want to make sure is that there's a 360 clear view around the antenna so it can see any cell phone towers that are near it. Second, there's another piece, and in our Travato we have a cabinet in the very back, and we've run the cables into that cabinet, and we velcroed that device to the top of that cabinet in the closet in there, and it actually is the one that boosts the signal. And then we've run another little puck piece out here that rebroadcasts the cell phone signal inside the van, so it's a lot stronger. And the advantage of that is it gets the entire van covered with a better cell phone signal. Not only the inside, but it'll also increase the cell phone signal. If we're sitting right underneath the awning outside of our van, we'll have a better signal than if we turned it off. The other thing that we do is, we just said we had the MIFI Hotspot. We place that relatively close to the cell phone booster inside of the van. That means that guy's getting the very best signal that he can possibly get. And then Lynn and I connect to the Wi-Fi that comes off of that instead of really connecting to LTE at all. So as long as that guy has a really strong signal, everything else that's connected has a really strong signal. 3 things we've learned that we want to share with you about the WeBoost. First of all, they offer an RV model that has a better antenna that lets you raise it higher in the air off of your RV. We would recommend that you get that instead of the little one that you can sit on top of your car. Trust me, there are a lot of things on our roofs, and you really want it to be high enough that it has a clear view 360 trying to find the cell phone tower. The second thing that we'd like to suggest to you is replacing the power supply. The power supply that probably will come with the one you purchase will work in a cigarette lighter, and that seems to be really convenient. On our Travato, there's both an electrical outlet and a cigarette lighter that's in the very back wall that you hang all the stuff on. If you connect the cigarette lighter, it cuts the power in half. But if you purchase, and we got one off of Amazon for almost 20 bucks, if you purchase an electrical adapter, then it doubles the power that the WeBoost puts out. And so that lets you go, instead of 4 miles away, it'll pick up a signal for 8 miles away. And that makes a really big difference. The third thing is, if you're going to be in really remote areas, like some of these Florida state parks that Lynn and I stay in, there's no signal within 10 miles. They offer an antenna that sits on a pole that you can mount to your ladder, and you can literally raise that above your roof and point it wherever you want to point it at a particular tower. And that maximizes as much as possible the chance that you're going to be able to connect to that tower and use that data. So Lynn and I do not watch a lot of TV, and as we travel in our van, we watch fewer and fewer things on TV. But there are a few things that we like to watch for sure. And we also like to keep up with other people who have YouTube channels who do the same thing that we do and travel around. We research a lot of places by doing that. We found the best method to watch TV and YouTube in the van for us is a Roku Streaming Stick. It allows us to pull up a YouTube app, and that app will connect to our wireless Wi-Fi that's in here that we have through Verizon. And because we can set the quality to 720p, it'll work almost all the time, and it just shows up on the TV, and we're both happy with it. We also make use of YouTube TV, Netflix, and Hulu to stay connected to TV entertainment. So that's the way Lynn and I stay connected while we're on the road. That's the way Lynn can pick up her iPad and watch a video about making jewelry, or watch a video about a park that we're trying to book. And it seems completely seamless to her, but the critical components make it so that everything just works together, and it seems to be almost perfect right now. There are a couple of caveats. First of all, this is a brand new plan from Verizon, and there's no guarantee that they'll continue to offer that. Everything changes so quickly with these wireless carriers that we don't know what they'll be offering in the future. That may get changed. It may also get a lot better. If you've heard of the onset of 5G, maybe these conversations about changing to 720p go away when we can get 5G and we can have really, really fast internet while we're out on the road. But for now, that's the way Lynn and I connect to the outside world while we're traveling in our van. And it works for us. We think it'll work for you, but you need to try it yourself. And if you find a better way, we hope you'll spend a few minutes and let us know how you connect in the comments below. We thank you for watching our videos. We hope what we're putting out there is helpful to you as you travel around like we are. And we hope our paths cross with yours somewhere down the road. Until then, stay safe, stay connected to us, and stay connected to the internet in your van.